guys, welcome back to the live stream lounge. My name's Megan. I'm a senior reporter at Project NOSH. Thank you so much for watching thus far. I have with me here Matt, the CEO of Lawless Jerky. Hey Matt, how you doing?
Hey Megan, great. Thanks for having me.
Matt is one of the entrepreneurs I first met when I got into the industry and is a New England sports fan, so clearly best friends.
Die Hard.
Yeah, wicked pissa. So, Matt, we have so much to talk about. There's been a ton that's been happening over at Lawless. First, let's just start with the rebrands. Can you tell me a little bit about just what wasn't working as hard for you on your original packaging?
Sure. I guess, first of all, the symbolism of our packaging would sometimes be misconstrued, and we kind of knew that going in, that not everyone would get it, that you'd have to read between the lines a little bit. But it came to be an issue with some retailers who said, oh, the blindfold going over Lady Lawless's eyes, it could, to every so often, be interpreted as some sign of female bondage, and that was like the last thing that we wanted. We're very open brand. Women are big fans of our product, and the health claims that we can provide. So we wanted to go for a more empowering figure of Lady Lawless, one that really delivered on what she was supposed to be. So we zoomed out rather than it being such an up close visual. You could see her whole body. You could see her actually lifting the blindfold off, making her more of an agent rather than maybe more passive.
Awesome. And were there any other major changes to the new packaging aside from the image itself?
Yeah, our name logo is totally new. We somewhat sports inspired from kind of 50s baseball, but then we gave it somewhat of a rugged tweak of that. So it's bold, and we wanted it to really dovetail with our braver flavors. So all the packaging really is striking, it's bold, it should jump off the shelf a little bit better than our old one did.
Now, what's the reception been like since you have started to show it off to retailers and just consumers?
Great. I guess from the moment you hold the bag, you can tell that there's something different about the product.
So true. I mean, the packaging is even just completely new.
Yeah, so it's like a textured plastic, although it's really made to feel like our original paper bags. Some people say, oh, is that made of cloth? Is it made of paper? So I walked 2 different trade shows scouring different packaging materials until I found something that I liked, and we were able to bring it into our packaging.
Well, I mean, your whole thing from the get-go with this product was that this was craft jerky. This is a premium thing. So how do you think that the new look really helps you kind of dive deep on that, what people think of as a craft product?
Yeah, so we brought craft even into that name logo. So it's Lawless Craft Jerky, whereas before it just said Lawless Jerky. So really trying to own that term and that space. Our history was, when I first started the company, just beating up and down the streets of New York, selling into craft breweries, craft beer stores, craft cheese shops. And so that's really our heritage, just paying more attention to our ingredients, to our processes, and just that attention to detail, whether it be in the feel of the packaging or what goes inside of it.
Now, you have also really been working to scale the brand and grow the brand beyond just your packaging, and part of that means producing more product. You recently got into a partnership with one of the largest jerky manufacturers. Can you kind of tell us a little bit about that partnership and what it means for you?
Yeah, so the company is Monogram Foods. Their specialty up to this point has really been more in private label. They've also co-packed for brands in the past. So coming up, Duke's for a while, Crave for a while, and maybe even currently was using them as a co-packer. And I think the neat thing about the partnership is, as with so many good partnerships, we both fit an unfilled need for one another. For them, they were, relative to their strength in private label, were a little bit weaker on the branded side. And, they do have branded products, but really nothing in the ultra premium, grass-fed craft space. And so I guess in me, as someone who works, closely on the formulations and in our brand, they saw something that, they didn't have, and that team of sales folks would really benefit from adding into their repertoire. And with us, we were missing out on a lot of what they could provide, which was state-of-the-art facility, really good R&D team, and an ability to make our most consistent chewing product that we've ever had. Grass-fed can be a little bit tricky.
For sure.
So we worked with them to really best apply their processes and up-to-date machinery to what we wanted as far as a taste, flavor, and textural profile.
So we tend to kind of throw around the term partnership, myself included, pretty loosely in this industry. What exactly does that mean? Do they have some sort of equity stake in your company, or aside from just being able to work with each other and have the synergies between your companies, what does that look like from a business standpoint?
Yeah, so we're going deeper with our co-packer than most people probably ever have or ever really thought to. I come from a place where I'm always willing to parcel out bits of equity in the company for someone who can really add value and take us to the next level. We did it on a very small level with our prior co-packer, who helped us graduate up to this now partner with Monogram. But this is a much deeper relationship. Manufacturing is just one of 3 pillars that we're really going to work together on. They're going to be helping us from an operational standpoint, working capital financing. They're going to take some of the burden of that off of our shoulders, especially as we grow into the larger type national accounts where they have relationships. And that third pillar being sales, they have a national sales force, whereas up to this point, it's really mostly been me and a couple other team members. And some doors, no matter how hard we knock and how hard we bang, we just can't get through. So it's a more global partnership. They'll have a chance to own a chunk of equity, as big as what I own in the company as founder. And was happy to part with it. If they do everything that we've envisioned, then I think it will be great for both of us.
That's awesome. And then you talked about doors opening up. In terms of your innovation pipeline, what does that allow you to do now at Lawless that you weren't able to do on your own in terms of flavors or styles?
Yeah, I think being able to come up with new flavors with Monogram won't be all that different than what I've been able to do in the past, but really it's the consistent texture. They have processes for nitrogen flushing all of the bags to keep it really fresh throughout an even longer shelf life than we had before. That'll be huge, and that will apply to any flavor that we come up with.
Now, do you have any other innovation that you can speak to in terms of even beyond jerky, what you're looking at?
Yeah, so I knew that you'd kind of want to tease this, but we've been working now for 2 years, the team at Lawless, to bring to market a new product line. And we've been at enough of the trade shows next to whether it be Chef's Cut or Epic, and we're friends with folks in our space. It's a very small world, and I've even heard some feedback from some of those folks saying, gee, if I knew that everyone would be going into meat sticks or meat bars, that maybe we wouldn't have gone in that direction. And we get a lot of feedback from retailers really wanting to know, how are you differentiated? And they hit you over the head with that. So in coming up with a new product line, I wanted to have something that question wouldn't even come up, because it would be so obvious how we differentiate. So what we've done is become really the first to shelf stabilize the egg in a new way, still keeping it all natural. And so we're going to be looking in the next 6 months to be bringing to market a bar that is largely egg-based, but not just egg, to be the first to use 100% pasture-raised egg in a value-added product. So I guess you could think of us as the Epic bar of kind of the egg space. And we're really excited about it, to have some intellectual property behind us. That's something, when we became the first to use grass-fed beef or certain different flavors in our jerky, there was nothing protectable there. So pretty quickly, our competitors who were a little bit larger pivoted in and made what made us different, cease to exist. So we're really excited about being able to, convert the traditional beloved breakfast sandwich into something that is really all protein and fat, no carbs, and a great morning snack that just really, up to this point, doesn't exist.
I have so many more questions, but our time is up, so we'll grab you after this because I think that's super exciting and clearly so innovative in a white space in the category right now.
Thank you.
I'm sure I'm speaking for all of our listeners. I'm very excited to hear more.
Thanks,
thank
Megan.
you so much, Matt.